Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here for my buddy CowboyJobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Because without you guys, well, we all know this just wouldn't work. What a night. Oh, man. Got back here about 3 o'clock this morning, and man, it was a rough trip getting home. We were in Jacksonville working with Calais Campbell. Oh, man. Damn. Calais. One of the nicest people you will ever meet off the field, and one of the scariest on. But anyway, we ended up literally in security checkout. They're calling our name saying the gate is closing in 2 minutes. Got there about 5 minutes too late as our plane was pushing back. But they got us on another flight to Charlotte because they've got this ice storm that's hitting Jacksonville in the south. So we knew we had to get out. We got to Charlotte, and unfortunately, the standby flight we were on, they had one person working at the gate, and she's like, "Well, I can't help you. You got to go back through the other thing." And we ended up waiting in line there, and they pushed back on that one, so we missed that flight. So finally, we did get the last flight out, which went to Dulles Airport, and our car was parked at National. So we get to Dulles and have to take a shuttle all the way to National to get home. But be that as it may, we finally got back home. Now, I've got some work to do, of course, here at the house on some cabinets and things, and I've got to get this out to Dallas Cowboy News. He is the winner chicken dinner, and it's hard for me to part with this. Charles Haley's autographed Jobu jersey, autographed, of course, by Charles Haley. So congratulations. And what we're going to do for this week's drawing on Monday night, another one of these pieces that it's going to be hard for me to part with, but it's a Jobu Black Sheep t-shirt signed by Bill Bates. That's right, Bill Ball. So I'm going to get a nice frame to go ahead and mount this in for whoever the winner will be. So all the proceeds from the drawings are going back into redoing my studio stuff, upgrading. And I got to tell you, seeing these professionals that were doing this filming of Calais Campbell for this virtual reality that's going to be at Super Bowl, the equipment they have, oh my God, I haven't even scratched the surface. That was literally my dream setup, between the lights, the video cameras, the sound equipment. Yeah, well, I digress. Speaking of digressing, after the Dallas Cowboys 2017 season, Jerry Jones is staying pat. You're not going to see wholesale changes in the coaching staff. Looks like Rod Marnelli and Scott Linehan will be back. There'll be a few sacrificial lambs, and instead of it being a bloody bloodbath of coaches being fired, Jerry is giving coaches the opportunity to find other jobs or retire and then bring in a few pieces. I, for one, think this is a mistake, but in the end, it doesn't matter what I think. The only person who owns the team is all who it really matters to. He still believes in Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan and Rod Marnelli. I mean, as bad as the offense was, it was still ranked 14th. The defense was ranked 8th. I think the mindset for him is, well, we were 9-7. We were close to being in the playoffs, and had one or two things gone differently, like, maybe if Zeke wasn't suspended for 6 games, or maybe if Tyron Smith hadn't been out so many games, or Sean Lee, that we could have won a game here and a game there, and we would have been right there, which is true. And I think the other part of that is it seems like more teams are staying pat than you expected. Marvin Lewis was reported as being gone in Cincinnati. Maybe that game against the Ravens was enough for them to say, okay, saved your job. You helped raise some money for Eric Dalton's charity and things by them winning and knocking out the Ravens and letting the Buffalo Bills in. And then you start hearing stories about Todd Haley, who has a riff with Big Ben, who I thought if they did bring in Todd Haley, could be the guy that could step up and replace Jason Garrett. But you hear reports about Todd Haley in a barroom fight after the Steelers won. The police were called. Now, what'll be interesting to see is, will the NFL do anything about that? But we'll talk about that later. So you start looking at that and saying, do I want to bring that guy in here? He's fighting fans, stuff like that. Jerry doesn't want adversity. And then when you start seeing some of the guys like John Gruden, maybe they've already talked to people and felt out some people and see, would you be interested in coming to Dallas? Because John Gruden, he's hell-bent on going to the Raiders. And it may be that Jerry Jones said, you know what, I don't want to fire Jason Garrett and then can't bring in a hot candidate to replace him. And it might be that Jason Garrett stayed coach out of default. I can get along with this guy. We weren't too far off. And I don't know that I can bring somebody else in better. Well, here we are as fans. We can only do two things. We only have two options. We can choose another team, go someplace else and say, the hell with the Cowboys, I'm done. I'm out. For one, I can't. My wardrobe, my man cave, everything is freaking Dallas Cowboys. I got stones at the stadium. I'm too invested in the Cowboys to go to another team. I can't be a bandwagon fan, even though you Eagles want Jobu. The other thing we can do is be loyal Dallas Cowboy fans and support the team and hope, pray, and drink that Jason Garrett finally gets it. That's all we can do. We can bitch, we can moan, we can cry about it, we can dream about other things, but in the end, Jason Garrett is what we got. So you can choose to live with it, choose to live without it. And that's it. Well, I got some work to do, and I'm going to take some meds for this cold because it's definitely been re-energized, and I got to get to the post office for you, Dallas Cowboy News. As always, friends, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Because of that, you guys, this just doesn't work. And I'll see you soon.
Let you turn things on or off from anywhere in the room. Just plug in the clapper and a television, lamp, stereo, almost anything you want to clap on and off. Clap on, clap on, clap on, clap on. The Clapper. Clapper is available at Meyer, Perry, Hills, and Osco.